Hey everyone, what's going on? In this video, we are going to be talking about Lordstown Motors. They released a business update just yesterday, updating the public on how the endurance pickup truck is doing, how they are doing within the business, any new updates. So let's get right into this. I don't want to waste your time. Before we jump into this, I hope it's not too much to ask for an early thumbs up on this video, subscribe if you aren't already, and turn on those post notifications to be notified every time I post a new video. As always, I appreciate the support so much. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you how or where to invest your money. I'm here and only here to post my own thoughts and opinions with any stocks I may do a coverage of. Lordstown Motors releases business updates, prepares Ohio factory to begin building betas next month. Again, this was posted January 28th, 2021. So Lordstown has announced another round of commercial, operational, and strategic development updates as it remains on track to begin production of the Lordstown Endurance, which is anticipated to be the world's first mass-produced full-size all-electric pickup truck this year. And Steve Burns, CEO of Lordstown, said, "We are at hard work in the factory preparing to begin beta builds in the coming weeks. With this step on the horizon, we remain on track to meet our September start of production timeline while continuing to see indicators of strong demand for an all-wheel drive full-size electric pickup truck with 250 miles of range from commercial, government, and military fleets." Now, speaking of government fleets, Biden just announced a few days ago about wanting to replace the whole government fleet with electric vehicles, and we'll get more into this right after this update. Lordstown Motors has initiated the metal stamping and welding for the first 57 Endurance beta prototypes of the Endurance and expects to complete the first beta vehicles on schedule in March. The beta series prototypes will be used for crash engineering and validation testing. Very important. The company also expects some of these vehicles may be sent to some initial customers for their feedback. The Lordstown Endurance has already achieved a 5-star crash test rating via software crash simulation. So moving on, Lordstown Motors has added to its long-term high-quality battery cell supply chain. Lordstown Motors recently signed a multi-year supplier agreement with LG Energy Solution, a global leader in battery cell technology, and broadening Lordstown Motors' high-quality, diverse battery cell supply chain that will power the Endurance for years to come. And this pinpoint is talking about its partnership with Camping World that we went over in one of my last Lordstown videos. Evaluation of its first Camping World Lordstown Endurance service centers continues. In addition to Lordstown Motors' owned service centers, such as a newly opened facility in Irvine, California, the company is continuing its review of plans to utilize Camping World's extensive footprint and service expertise to ensure nationwide service coverage for all Lordstown vehicles. Also, like I mentioned before in one of my Lordstown videos pertaining to Camping World and their partnership with them, they are going to be developing an electric van. The Lordstown Motors electric van is in development with plans to be unveiled in June. So this is very soon. And production starting in the second half of 2022. Based on the Endurance platform, the van will utilize hub motors to achieve all-wheel drive and low ground clearance and have a class-leading range. An initial use case of the van will be as the world's first production all-electric RV. Produced in partnerships with Camping World, the van will be priced competitively with comparable internal combustion-based vans. So obviously this is a big deal for both parties, for Lordstown and for Camping World, as it is the world's first production all-electric RV, and I believe that it will be a hit with the millennials. Like we saw in the statistics with my last video pertaining to this partnership, millennials are using RVs a lot more now. So like I said, this will be a hit with millennials, and not just that age group, also with the older class people. I mean, they use RVs like crazy. They're traveling a lot. They're living in retirement. So I can see this being a huge hit. Now, a huge thing in this business update is that Lordstown Motors has been added to the United States General Services Administration listing. And this is the first step towards being able to sell to government fleets, which is huge. Again, Biden wants to replace all government fleet with electric vehicle fleets. With this step complete, the company has started its outreach to state and local government entities, including the U.S. military. The company believes these markets represent a significant opportunity for the Endurance and follow-on products. So I completely agree. This is a huge, extremely significant opportunity to provide the government with the Endurance EV pickup truck. And maybe down the road, Lordstown Motors will develop newer, different, innovative electric vehicles for government fleets, and this could be a potential significant opportunity in the future. So as we mentioned, Biden says he will replace the entire federal fleet with electric vehicles, and this article was posted on January 26, 2021, just a few days ago. President Joe Biden announced the ambitious plan of replacing the entire fleet of autos owned by the federal government with electric vehicles as his administration takes steps to embrace clean energy. Biden also pledged that these new electric vehicles will be made in the US. The president said the federal government also owns an enormous fleet of vehicles, which we're going to replace with clean electric vehicles made right here in America by American workers. So if the government does end up going with Lordstown Motors, this would be huge because of the fact that, and this is from a 2019 report, the federal government owns some 645,000 vehicles total. That's almost a million. That's more than 500,000 vehicles. Imagine all those being endurance pickup trucks. That's huge. Also, with more than 225,000 of those belonging to the US Postal Service and more than 170,000 of those belonging to military agencies. Now, there's only a small portion of electric vehicles that are owned by the government, and that's only 4,475. However, the president did not give a timeline for when this massive vehicle replacement goal will be implemented. It will be huge considering the fact if they do end up picking Lordstown Motors to provide them with these electric vehicle endurance pickup trucks. So we shall see what happens with this. Moving on, construction continues on an 800,000 square foot propulsion renovation at Lordstown Motors' 6.2 million square foot Ohio headquarters. Completion of the first stage of the previously announced facility, which will house production lines for advanced battery pack and hub motors, is expected in time for the planned start of production of the Endurance in 2021. When completed, Lordstown Motors expects the facility to be one of the largest of its kind in the United States. So like I said, things are starting to get heated. These updates are just amazing, and I am excited for Lordstown. I'm excited for the development of the endurance pickup truck, and I cannot wait for the end product, for the end vehicle, and how it will do well for many government fleets if they do consider pairing with Lordstown, and any other commercial fleets that do want to provide the endurance pickup trucks to their workers. So the market just opened about 30 minutes ago. Ride stock opened at a price of $25.70, rode up to $26.25, and they dipped down. It looks like they are riding up again. For the past month, Ride stock is up 22%. And this 1 month period, they hit a high of $27.11 a share. Now for the 5-day period, they hit a high of $29.87 a share, and a little downtrend right after that and some consolidation. Now, my stock price prediction for Ride stock, considering how well they're doing with all these great updates, and this is me going towards more the end of the year, towards the end of 2021 with my price target, I think that we can see Lordstown hit $55 a share by the end of this year. Or maybe even more above that because of them being added to the United States General Services Administration listing. Like, that's huge in itself, being added to that listing. And if it does happen that the government wants the endurance pickup trucks, that's completely huge with you knowing how much vehicles the government owns in their fleet. So that's my price target, $55 by the end of the year, or maybe above that. But what do you all think about these business updates? What are you doing with Ride stock? What is your price target for Ride stock? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, your thoughts are appreciated. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you aren't already, and turn on those post notifications to be notified every time I post a new video. As always, I appreciate the support so much. It has been amazing. Thank you guys again, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next video.